Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. We past the norm, Norman.
What up, though? It's that nigga mine, man. We about to react to Isaiah Martin. They say one Democrat versus 20 MAGA Republicans. Now, I seen this clip on here. I didn't realize this shit was about to be this long. This is an hour and 46 minutes. So I'm gonna break this down into parts. I'm probably gonna do about 15 to 20 minutes today. Then, another 15 to 20 minutes another day. So on and so forth. Like I was doing the YB interviews and shit. I like these Jubilee things because it gives you insight on the mentality of certain people in the psyche of MAGA supporters and shit. And how they thinking and shit. And, I'm a person that's well versed in looking at somebody and reading their characteristics. So this essentially helps me with that ability, innate ability that I already have. So by looking at this, I get to really get more insight into how they think. But before we do that, like and subscribe so we hit that 100K today. Let's get right into it and see what they got to say, though.
4747, tax-free. That's how much you'll save.
So you just made Americans pay more for everything that comes from Canada because they showed a commercial you didn't like? That sounds like being a snowflake, if you ask me.
Bro,
he shut him down, bro. Yeah, just looking and talking fast and loud don't make you smart, bro. All right?
I don't know if you're acting stupid or you're purposely...
Especially if the other person can calmly, just react. Just calmly pause and wait and let you make a fool out of yourself. That's the best way to win an argument is by being, taking those pauses and, actually observing and assessing what's being said, vice versa, just reaction. You should be able to just respond.
Just misconstruing what I'm saying.
It did happen. Yeah, we had funding for things that are outside of the country.
Okay, let's get to the point.
And I'm here today surrounded by 20 MAGA Republicans. My first surrounding claim is that Trump's mass deportation plan is making us less safe.
Oh, so he the first guy.
Good to see you.
Great to meet you.
Very
It's interesting that you claim that because according to the DHS, 70% of the people who have been deported so far have been criminals. Either caught in the act, yes. I'm surprised you're surprised. You ran for Congress and you don't know this?
This claim, the fact check, using U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the data the Cato Institute found in December 2025 that 47%, and he said 60. Let's go.
70% of the people have been deported so far.
Said 70%.
Because
and this is what MAGA motherfuckers do, and they will speak a lie with so much confidence when they don't know what the fuck they talking about.
According to the DHS, 70% of the people who have been deported so far have been criminals, either caught in the act.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
70% of them was criminals. That's what he said.
I'm surprised you're surprised. You ran for Congress and you don't know this?
That's what those numbers said?
That is 70%. The other 30% are people who went through the entire immigration process and had some sort of deportation detainer. So that is 700,000 people were deported like that. 1.9 million people self-deported so far. That's all DHS did. It's publicly available. You can look it up.
2.2.
So how are you standing for criminals? Is that what you're doing right now?
Of interior removals, 70% of the people deported literally have not been convicted criminals. What are you talking about? That's according to DHS.
That's according to DHS?
He
Where
lied.
do you get your data from?
DHS.
What day? This is just recently.
Last from up to October or mid-October of this year.
So we're going to need a fact check on this because I literally checked yesterday.
Not convicted criminals. 70% of
I'm glad they fact checking it. I'm glad they doing that.
People deported are not convicted criminals under interior.
They were people, people that had...
He thought he was talking to somebody that wasn't well versed in studying shit, bro. And always keeping updates on current events.
Been convicted criminals.
No.
Or they had... We're like at a stalemate because now you're claiming something, I'm claiming something from the same source, so...
70% of the people that have been deported under interior removals are not convicted criminals, and that is a fact.
That's not a fact.
It literally is.
It's 70%. I'm telling you, I looked at
I
it.
think you got it upside down.
At the end of the day, it is what's happening. They literally published the photos of everybody who was being deported.
So I didn't realize that they posted every single photo.
No, they published the majority of them, yeah. But there's data. This is, yeah. I mean, you're hitting back.
You're saying they deported hundreds of thousands of people and they post pictures of every single.
They're not posting. See, this is what you're doing here is you're building like this.
He's specifying. He's specifying. Because if you're saying something and you basing it off a reference, you gotta explain the details of it.
False deflection around it. I didn't say everybody. I said they're posting photos of people who are being deported. Yes.
That means that they're deporting.
They're posting, bro. I don't know if you're acting stupid,
Bro.
or you're purposely just like misconstruing what I'm saying.
He ain't misconstruing nothing. He ain't misconstrued it. He need details of what you talking about.
Yeah.
But here's my argument. Under Barack Obama, of those that were deported under interior removals, 92% of them were convicted criminals. Of that 92%, 81% of them were considered tier 1, so worst of the worst per se. I think that is something that makes it a lot more safe than literally roaming around to go get grandmas in CVS that speak Spanish or going to that construction.
That's an absolutely false narrative because that's
just what the facts say. I mean,
that's not what's happening. See, this is common with what
Everything he said is a fact. It's crazy. Yeah.
does. You guys just
facts.
No,
How that goes.
again, that's not what you guys do at all. What for anybody watching at home, this is what they do. They get a piece of data, they fabricate a narrative around it, and then they try.
Who are they? Who are they? Yes.
They sell it to you as the truth, when in fact it's not.
Who are they? I'm glad he can be calm, cool, collective, like, cause this dude, he got under his skin without doing much, just sitting there being calm, cool, and collective. And that right there, that affects motherfuckers. Your silence, the pause, you assessing everything they saying, motherfuckers can't stand it. When you in tune and conscious of everything that's being said, and you receiving it, and you already coming up with, not even coming up with, if you know the facts of it, you can bring those facts to the forefront.
So
Yeah, see them they clapping because of good words, and that's why they mad good. Not even good words, shit that sound fucking logical to them, but they fucking idiots, man.
This is Trump's own website.
I came here with a piece of data. You completely rewrote it in real time.
No, I gave you the facts.
You completely rewrote it. I mean,
You say you completely rewrote it, but they put the facts over there, and I'm glad they do that, so you can see this shit.
I'm surprised you ran for Congress. You're one of the most disingenuous, dishonest people that I've ever met in my entire life. I was literally taken aback for a second. I was like, how? Like,
Yeah,
I
never do
looked this up
debates.
yesterday. How
First
is
guy should never ever do debates. I'm looking at it, but let's go.
this guy sitting here lying so blatantly? You should be ashamed. No, seriously, dude. I can see it in your face. No, you literally just sat.
He don't have no argument. He's losing it because the facts he thought he had, thinking this dude don't do no research, or like I said, keep himself updated on current events. He thinking this motherfucker just any old Joe Schmo that he could just say some shit and they be like, oh, you're right. No, motherfucker. This nigga's smart. This guy's smart than motherfucker.
Here lied. And you're like breaking down and
And he's showing stoicism, where he don't have to get no outrage or nothing. He just calm, cool, collective, and dude spazzing out. He don't know what to do.
real time.
I think I'm doing pretty
It's
good.
so incredibly
Can't say so much
So
more.
tell me, why are you so in favor of criminals being in this country?
I just told you that 70% of the people that Trump is supporting literally are not convicted criminals for interior removals. I mean, I don't understand what about this.
So you really buy into that narrative. That little grandmas are walking around. Oh my God! Oh, let's get grandma. Let's kick her out
That's
of the
literally
country.
what they're doing.
That's not cite one case like that.
Of what? Of
One case of the little grandma standing at the taco stand getting deported.
What I
Whoa, you can't cite it. There we go. There we go. You can't cite.
Are you
just
denying
said,
the fact that
no.
people
I'm
that
holding
have
you to
supported-
account because that's the narrative you're just running with, and then you can't cite a specific example.
What I'm telling
Again, this man is deeply disingenuous. Thank God you're out of politics. We don't need more lying politicians.
He's hurt. He in his spirit, his soul, and he like let him embarrass himself. Continue to embarrass yourself.
Just like you.
What we don't need.
We don't need more lying politicians like you. I'm running for Congress too. I'm actually still in the race. Yes.
Okay.
In Hollywood, Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena. We need people who tell the truth.
Look.
We don't need liars like you.
When this episode comes out and they show the fact check and you are miserably wrong.
I'm not gonna be wrong.
Yeah, you're gonna be wrong
This
as
is
fuck.
gonna be really beautiful. When America gets to
You're
watch the
looking at
fact
the
that
clock.
the person running to be
You're
your
looking
next
at the
congressman
Yeah.
literally cannot read
This
data.
guy, this
Facts.
guy breaking down every time. He's like looking at the.
I think I'm doing
You
pretty
looked at
good.
the clock. Dude. You're breaking down in real time. I can see your
Break it
face
down.
like twitching.
He
I think I'm just chilling.
You don't seem like it.
Because here's the reality: is that under Barack Obama, we know that we focus more on the convicted criminals, and you guys just aren't. I'm sorry that the numbers don't back up what you're talking about.
Yeah.
but that's just
They
the
literally
reality.
do. They literally do.
This is just gonna be just so beautiful because when they show this fact check, we're just gonna. I guess one of us is gonna go viral over this. I guess.
Yeah.
How can a guy be so confident in something and be so wrong?
Facts.
Okay. Well,
Be so wrong. Yup. Wrong as hell.
It's gonna be a great fact check, I will say.
Yeah, it was amazing. Okay.
Good to see you, brother.
Nah, I ain't see this dude.
I'm going to start saying something that might not make everyone else like me, but I actually think you've been real honest during this conversation.
Yeah, facts.
And so, but I want to start with, I don't know if it's 30 or if it's 70% as y'all were debating, but even if it's 30%, shouldn't all of those 30% be deported?
Here's the problem: is that ICE has a certain amount of resources, just like, for example, police officers. We have a lot of our officers focusing on violent crime. So when it comes to the limited resources that ICE has, I would say that it would make more sense to go after the worst of the worst, violent terrorists that are in this country. We focus more on those folks under Barack Obama's administration, and I think that it makes more sense to go after those folks now. Because currently what we're seeing is an ICE that's literally going to go get folks blanket across the country.
Facts.
It's leading to so many mistakes, like, for example, the grad student, the student that was a college student in Georgia that was literally detained in an ICE detention facility for 2 weeks, literally as a result of a mistaken identity. I don't think that that's something that keeps us more safe in this country.
So can we start with points of agreement? I think that might be useful. Can we, regardless of how we get there, can we agree that those 30% who got deported should have been deported?
The convicted criminals?
Convicted criminals.
Yes.
Which you said is 30,
Yes.
someone said it was 70, whatever.
Yes.
So we start there. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have to talk about the remaining, I'm going to say 70%.
Yes.
I believe your stat. To me, it seems that those people are also making our civilization unsafe because they promote a culture of lawlessness. When you have a set of person, a category of person.
And I would say this, how is it a promotion of a culture of lawlessness? I don't see it. Like, when we think of Mexicans, yeah, we think of them as hard-working motherfuckers. That's about it. Like, that's the culture that we got of Mexicans. They hard workers. That's about it.
Who is by definition.
And they about the closest thing to black in America, as far as treatment.
And outlaw, they themselves have to be afraid of the police for normal things. And they encourage their friends then to be afraid of the police for normal things. And so you create a culture where people are afraid of the police because of things that have nothing to do with them.
But nah, that's not necessarily. And just like you don't care, it don't have nothing to do with you. This definitely has something to do with all of us with this right here. We got this, bro, and the police, how they police, it's really, it ain't really good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everywhere. Not all the police is like that, but like, it's a nice amount that is like that be on that bullshit. You feel me? They pull you over and like, hey, spread your legs, and you'll spread them, and they kick your shit wider open. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just be extra aggressive for no motherfucking reason, just because it is right here. So he don't experience that, so he got a whole different perspective, and that's why he can join MAGA be happy and shit, whatever.
And so when these people are around, they actually make it such that the people near them can't be pro-police. And so if you deport the people who aren't criminals themselves, but who exist as a category of outlaw, and you remove this outlaw category, you no longer have this semi-enforced law situation, and then we can move to a place where we have fully enforced law. And so I think that we both agree that less crime is good, like, obviously, and I think that when...
But he come up with better points than the first guy. The first guy, he just went on a tangent, a tantrum. that was a tantrum. You seen the emotion, the bitch in him just come all out. Like, you're a liar.
The best way to get rid of crime is to police crime. When you punish criminals, they stop doing crime. But you need people to believe in the police. You need people to love the police. You need people to want to be safe.
Do undocumented immigrants commit less crime than American citizens?
I think it's probably true. But the problem is that if
he said what? He said what? But the guy that's doing all that what shit, he ain't gonna come up with no better fucking argument than this dude.
Caught up in,
so they commit less crime. How does that fill the narrative that you're referring to?
For example, imagine I'm an illegal immigrant.
How does that feel the narrative? Yeah,
imagine that I was, and some crime happened to me. I am less likely to call the police because I'm afraid that I could get deported. And same thing if I'm in a group of people and one of us is an illegal immigrant and a crime happens, we are now afraid to call the police because of what might happen to our friend. And so this category of outlaw creates a culture of not believing in police.
Let's see if we can agree on this, okay? I support making sure that we can have a strong border in our country.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that that's fair.
Thank you.
Okay? I do not support violent criminals in our country.
Yes, sir.
I don't think the vast majority of Americans do. I also support making sure that there's a pathway to citizenship for those that are here that are undocumented. So the question then comes, what do we do with the limited resources that ICE has in front of us? I personally believe that we should be more focused on convicted criminals.
Yes.
Violent people that are in our country. But when we have a system in which 70% of the people that are literally detained by ICE itself are those that have not been convicted of a crime. 47% of those people have not even been charged with the crime. They're just people that
53% have been charged with a crime then?
What?
So 53% have been charged with a crime then?
No. That's not what I
You just said 47% haven't been charged.
47%. Oh,
So
yeah,
what
sorry.
percent have been?
Yeah, 53%
So
have been
over
charged.
half are charged with a crime.
Yeah, if you look at what the 47% number before Trump got in office, it was around 10%-ish.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying is that we should be more focused on rounding up convicted criminals in this country, people that are going to be doing things
How you not understanding this? He's saying, nigga, use these resources to get the important criminals, not to get the people that's not criminals at all. That's it. It's that simple. Like, if we got the police out here, you know, we don't want them niggas just doing traffic stops. We want them niggas taking care of real crimes. Like, niggas up there murdering motherfuckers and shit like that, bro. And we need resources for that. So, that should be the main focus. Not no petty shit, niggas stealing a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? We fuck that. Get the murderers.
as it is.
So would you agree on giving more money to ICE to go get all the convicted criminals?
But that's not really what's happening, right? We're already paying ICE. We're literally spending more money on ICE this year than the Spanish military is on their entire thing. And we're seeing the results.
Well, that's Spain.
Well, but I'm just saying. Well,
Like, I don't want to talk about the
I mean, but
Spanish
come on. I mean, that's
No, he's... This nigga is stupid. He actually mentioned a whole different, like, country, nigga, or some shit. And you like, you don't want to hear about that, nigga. It's infrastructure. It's a good comparison.
entire military.
It's not 1453.
I mean, but that's an entire military, right? What I'm saying is,
I'm sure it's more than
what I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense to me that we're spending all this money and 70% of the people that we're deporting, right? So at the end result, right? Not just the folks that are detained, the end result of the folks that we're saying, okay, we're gonna get you out of here.
Yeah.
70% of them have not been convicted.
So can we address that?
Only
As
30
that
only
having a
30%.
Category of person.
Only 30. So that means only 30% of the motherfuckers was really felons. That's bad numbers, man. That's a waste of resources. Y'all sending back motherfucking families, not actual criminals.
Why? who cannot rely on the police makes the entire neighborhood unsafe.
Because what's happening in this country is that those people that are undocumented are those that commit crimes at a low rate. Here's the real thing. Wait, because here's what really
missed what I'm talking about.
Because here's what makes us less safe. What makes us less safe in this country is going and having someone to do these complete raids, and you go find these mistaken cases of identity in which American citizens have been
Tragedies, everyone.
every single one of them.
Every single
and those are at an increase.
All 10 of them.
That makes us far more.
Then he say all 10 of them like, bruh, one of them is enough, nigga. You talking about 10 of them like it's a toy or some shit. Like 10 of them like it's a little cigarette or some item you throw away, nigga. These are lives. These are people. But these motherfuckers don't have no empathy. They don't have no sense of morality, really. No real sense of morality.
Unsafe. Then what the thing that you're talking about
All
in these
policing
policies
is always going to have mistakes, but if you want to claim that just
those
because
situations
there are
have
some-
increased.
Well, because policing has increased.
So what's happening in this country is that what you're focusing on. You're focusing
The
on
policing increased, but y'all still not getting the main criminals.
rounding
Dumbass.
up people that have not been convicted of a crime.
Who are a
and as a result,
category of
and as a
outlaw.
result
Can you
of that,
address the
you
fact
lead
that
to
those
American
people make
citizens
neighborhoods more unsafe?
No, I'm
all
not gonna say that at
policing
all.
is always going to have some accidents, and they're all terrible, and they should all
Say they all, yeah, bad argument, man. Say they all like that. All Mexicans.
not happen. But if you're going to have a system, you're going to mistake sometimes.
And I know he's not saying that, but all the illegals, right? All of them. They all make the motherfucking neighborhood unsafe.
And they're all bad, and I'm opposed to all of them. But I'm talking about, first, we agreed on the 30%, which is a huge point of agreement that I think we need to elevate. And then on the 70%, these people cannot be regulated by the system in the correct way. They do not trust the system in the correct way. They definitionally, by the status of who they are, make the neighborhood less safe because it makes so everybody in the neighborhood can't rely on the police or their friend might get deported. So you have to remove these people in order to get rid of this semi-enforced, semi-category of law. You have to do that. Can we?
And that made up scenario, that ain't how that shit work. And obviously, you know, I'm not saying I'm a criminal, but I can think like one, and this guy can't. You know what I'm saying? Because in the street, you gotta be street smart, man, and this motherfucker's stupid. Like, oh, you in this group, and you called, these motherfuckers go, nah, it ain't like that. Real shit. These people, they working their ass off. I mean, it's a lot of Bangladesh people like that. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of motherfuckers, bro, but a bunch of immigrants, man. They be on some bullshit.
Do you not believe that?
Are you saying that neighborhoods that have high percentages of undocumented people are oftentimes some of those violent neighborhoods in cities? Is that what you're saying?
That might be the case. I'm not sure. But it's probably.
It's not. He said, I'm not sure, nigga. That's a fucking, like, how you gonna have an argument or bring something to debate somebody with when you don't fact check your own shit to where you have a rebuttal when he say something. When he asks you something, you can actually be like, oh yeah, it is fucked up in the hood like that. You know what I'm saying? Because of all these immigrants and
Those violent
illegals.
neighborhoods in cities? Is that what you're saying?
That might be the case. I'm not sure. But it's probably would be the
That's
case.
true.
But it doesn't.
That's not true at all.
what I'm
If you
trying
look
to
at
say.
cities that have higher
Saying
percentages
that-
of undocumented populations, those cities oftentimes have lower crime rates.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the case or which way that would go. But I'm telling you, you have to address.
Yeah, he don't see where it's gonna go. He like, you have to address. He's addressing everything you saying.
Category of outlaw. I don't know why we're going in circles here. Do you
It
not
ain't no
believe that?
circles.
Because I don't think that the argument that you're making really has anything to do with the root of the issue.
The root of the issue.
The root of the
Safety
issue.
of America.
The root of the issue is about safety.
Yes.
And if we have the fact that our ICE, as it stands today, is more focused on rounding up people that have not been even accused of a crime, instead of violent terrorists that are in this country.
Yeah, he
violent
not
people in
understanding.
America.
How they not understanding that part? It's like they don't want to understand. Like certain shit, man, through white eyes, they just can't see. They don't want to see it. You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm a black man. I can only see through black man eyes and see, you know, and I'm not saying all black men see the world as I see it, but being a person that's been conscious since, I want to say, 14, 15. When my mom's passed, I started really looking at the world and, you know, being consciously aware of what was going on in the world and shit. So I understand, you know what I'm saying, getting to this point, like, I ain't understand all this shit at first, you know what I'm saying, as far as politics and what they got going on with that. But, like, first shit I became conscious of was spirituality, you feel me, and breaking away from religion. You know, and I'm not telling y'all not to do that, you know what I'm saying, because stick with it, you know what I'm saying, if it provides you structure and order. But for me, I broke away from it, and I broke away from it, you know what I'm saying, for my own purposes. And I ain't gonna go deep because that's a whole nother, you know, video. But listen to what he talking about. My man's like, he ain't got no good talking point. He's trying to, but he's not comprehending what my man's is telling him. He telling him straightforward. And like me even bringing up how I was being conscious when I was young, I used to tell people exactly what was going on, the way I seen it, and niggas couldn't see it how I seen it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all black men don't see it how I see it because I was conscious. It was to that point, nigga, I come around niggas, oh, here come this nigga Jesus. Cause I come, you know, telling them some shit, you know, to help benefit them in life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't see how he's not comprehending this shit. That shit is like mind-boggling to me.
I think that itself makes us less safe because here's who's celebrating.
Because he done repeated the same shit to the first toddler. Damn.
Rounding up people that have not been even accused of a crime. Instead of violent terrorists that are in this country, violent people in America, I think that itself makes us less safe because here's who's celebrating. The people in this country that are doing wrong. Because they know that people are more focused on going to a fiesta or a grocery store or a Home Depot or a place of work or a plant or somewhere else to round up people.
Are celebrating this?
I would say so. Because they're literally being rounded up at a lower rate.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
It's great talking.
Yeah, get him up out of there, man. I'm sorry, I ain't hear that part because
they're literally
somebody
being
texted.
rounded up anywhere else to round up people.
Celebrating this?
I would say
What?
Home Depot or a place of work or a plant or focusing on going to a fiesta or a grocery store.
Oh yeah.
I think that itself makes us less safe because here's who's celebrating. The people in this country have not been even accused.
and this here's and he say here's what you're celebrating. He talking to MAGA, you motherfuckers. Yeah, you make America great again, racist bitch ass motherfuckers. He talking to you, and I ain't even talking about them in the video. He talking to you. Y'all some bitches, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all celebrating people's lives being ruined, but when y'all life get ruined, now it might not be by ice. It might be by something natural. Since you celebrating it, it's the universe gonna take that shit and give it right back to you. And when it come back, it's going to be beautiful. You know, I ain't wishing bad on you, but you wishing bad on other people. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a point of negation. I ain't on no negative. I ain't on no positive. I'm just right there in the middle.
The root of the issue.
The root of the issue is about safety.
Yes.
And if we have the fact that our ICE, as it stands today, is more focused on rounding up people that have not been even accused of a crime. Instead of violent terrorists that are in this country, violent people in America, I think that itself makes us less safe because here's who's celebrating. The people in this country that are doing wrong. Because they know that people are more focused on going to a fiesta or a grocery store or a Home Depot or a place of work or a plant or somewhere else.
Just doing regular shit. Those the people that's getting deported. Not the motherfuckers drug dealing and killing motherfuckers. Not the motherfuckers part of the cartel that, you know, transition over here. The motherfuckers, nah. The ones that's just doing regular shit. Regular shit. Enjoying their day. Here come fucking ICE on that bullshit.
You think criminals are celebrating this?
I would say so. Because they're literally being rounded up at a lower rate.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Yeah.
It's great talking.
Yeah, you lost, man. That was a great one, though. That was pretty good.
Wait, were you even listening? You haven't taken a single note?
Okay.
Hi,
how are you?
She looked like a
one of the
lawyer.
issues that Trump mainly went on was immigration from both sides.
Okay.
And I find disingenuous this selective outrage to what makes it
I don't know
safe.
why, but her eyes looked as scary as hell, like kind of blindish, like hazy blindish. But
What do you mean by that?
Well, we have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of children missing and not accounted for since the open borders. We have $150 billion spent from American taxpayer dollars to house and educate and give welfare to illegal aliens. This takes away.
Give me an example of that.
Well, I mean, just look in New York, the $12 billion spent on housing immigrants in hotels. Just alone in California, $23 billion was taken away from our educational system to support illegal immigrants. Is that safe for the hardworking American, for the veterans who have to wait behind illegals who get fast-tracked in their health care? Is that safe for them? Now, I probably find agreement with you that people who want to do it the right way, there should be less bureaucracy. There should be people who want to contribute to the American dream, who are here in good faith. My father's an immigrant. My grandparents are immigrants. But
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I seen like the immigrant inner. You know what I'm saying? The only motherfuckers that ain't immigrants are, the foundational black Americans and shit, the Native Americans, and obviously the motherfuckers who are the ancestors of the motherfuckers that came and just slaughtered motherfuckers.
Have to do it the right way. And sometimes when you have such irresponsible management of the borders, as we've seen with open borders for the last few years.
Oh, he had the numbers upside down. Is it though? Pretty on brand. It's close, but he failed to mention that 70% of the people weren't convicted. Okay. Which guy? The brother incredible with his composure. First dude would have gotten slapped by me. Like, see, you ain't got no emotional control. Some people ain't got no emotional control. I'm reading these damn comments. My bad, y'all. Let's go.
Sometimes an overcorrection.
What is Donald Trump doing to make it easier to do things the right way?
Well, he's closed the borders. That's number one.
Okay.
No, that's not what I asked you. I said, what is he doing to make it easier to come across the border the right way?
Well, he's making new policies
Like
where,
what?
well, he has to ensure that they're actually asylum seeking.
No, that's not what I asked though. What is he doing to make it easier for because you just said that you support making
Legal
it easier
immigration.
for legal immigration,
Yes,
right? I think
yes.
that we all probably should agree with that.
Yeah.
What is he doing to advance that goal?
Well, the first thing you do is you have to cut off the huge drain of open border policy where
That's not
the,
what I asked
okay,
you.
Yeah, he ain't asking you what would you do? What's the plan? What did Trump do? What? Yeah, that's a valid question. And she's stunned. Like, damn. I don't know.
again, and I think the
Can
theme
you just
here,
tell me
the
one
theme
thing,
here
one-
today is
one
well, he
possible
shut
thing?
the borders.
That's not what I asked you.
But that's a major thing. You have
That's not a major. That's not a major thing to help will help people get over here legally. No.
to
What
start at the root
specific
cause
thing
and
is
go
he
from
doing
there. Well, I
Make
mean,
it easier for people to legally come into this country.
well, I know when he was in the first term, he
I'm
had
not
the
talking-
Remain in Mexico policy. I'm not sure of the exact policies, but what he's doing
So
is
nothing.
working. He has, again, you're skirting away from the issue.
So nothing.
Americans are in office.
He's not skirting away from the issue. He asked you a question from your blanketed statement, trying to get detail, but you can't give none because you don't know. It's easy to say you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
we
if
saw,
the central
if
pillar-
Kamala was still in office, we would have open borders and it would be even more.
He said if Kamala was still in office. Kamala was, she was the vice president on the second term. What am I tripping? Oh no, she was vice president with Joe Biden. So she was the vice president. What's the vice president job? I thought they just was like a stand-in until, a stand-in if the main president get killed. That's what I thought it was.
Unsafe.
If the central pillar to your argument is making it easier for legal immigration into this country, and you cannot tell me one specific example of anything
What
he's doing
I
to come
said
across legally,
was,
how does any
you're
of that
turning
make
my
any
words
sense?
around. I do think it should be easier for the right people to come in legal.
So then what is he doing
But-
to advance that?
But again, in the meantime, we have a big problem of
So you-
illegals, many of
you
them
don't have
criminals.
any-
When you talk about
Trump's mass deportation plan is making us less safe. This is
People who talk about unsafe.
we got like 2 more minutes. Then we're gonna do a part 2 another day.
Let's talk about Lincoln Riley, an American who was just jogging and living her life and was brutally murdered by an illegal alien. Is that safe? Is that safe to let people who are gang members and nationalists and drug cartels into our country?
And that's real. That person need to be arrested and things. That's just one example. But this is my thing, man. When we gonna change that word from aliens, man? Like illegal aliens, man. Because when the aliens actually come down, nigga, how the fuck we gonna know? Nigga gonna think you talking about, you know, somebody that jumped the border, nigga. It is a real fucking alien. Come on, man. We need to change that around.
Is that safe to let people who are gang members and nationalists and
Because it don't even feel right having a serious conversation to say alien. You having a serious debate and alien come up.
cartels into our country with the fentanyl crisis a real thing? Is that safe for our kids? So let's not skirt the issue.
What happened to Lincoln Riley, I think every American agrees was absolutely horrific. I think we can say, and it's just like, for example, when Molly Tibbetts was killed under the Trump administration by an undocumented person in this country. This happens across, and every time it happens, it is wrong, and I think we all should say that. Any person that commits a violent crime needs to be locked up, deported. We all agree with that. But here's the central problem, is that what you're focused on is rounding up people in this country that have not been convicted of a crime. That does not make us more safe.
That's a blanket statement.
That's just simply the facts.
Trump has run on criminal.
That's the facts. People getting hurt by ICE. Regular people. Motherfuckers that ain't even immigrants. Don't even look like immigrants getting shot. Like the white lady in Minnesota. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy story. You know it's crazy when white people getting shot.
Violent criminals first.
Let me ask you a question. Of those people that are sitting in ICE detention facilities right now, how many do you think have been convicted of a violent crime? Just take a guess.
I could not.
Okay, we might take this to 25 because this is a nice little. They getting engaged with this dialogue, so I'm gonna let it go to 25 because I know this 1 minute ain't gonna be enough.
I trust the Trump administration.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna probably do it when it pop over to the next person. And that's how we're gonna do it. When her end, because her shit about to end in a second.
Just take it. What do you think it could be?
Well, 100% because they're all illegal. And
Convicted
had
of a violent crime.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I trust the Trump administration.
Take a guess.
I
just throw a number. Just take it. What do you think it could be?
Well, 100% because they're all illegal. And
Convicted of a violent crime.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And look at these empty-headed motherfuckers in the background clapping this shit. This crazy, bro. I might make this video longer. This might be a 30-minute video just to get majority of. Well, this video gonna be like an hour because I'm talking like a motherfucker. But I might react to 30 minutes.
I said, how many have been convicted of a violent crime?
It doesn't matter. Why have they not filed the papers?
I just asked you.
It doesn't matter. All of them.
What percentage of these? 100%? You think of it?
Because if they're there
only
illegally.
5% of the people in ICE detention facilities today have been convicted of a violent crime.
Are they here undocumented?
Killing them with the motherfucking facts. Killing them with the facts. You can't spin it with him. He already know the motherfucking argument. He got it framed perfectly. And he got all the facts to back everything that he's saying. So these motherfuckers came in here for a losing battle because they can't beat this man. I like how composed and poised he is, man. It is what it is.
Are they here undocumented?
5%.
Are they here undocumented? Wait. Are they here undocumented?
This just screams about what people are seeing in this country. You literally believe that 100% of the people in ICE facilities have been convicted of a violent crime.
Okay,
only
not
5%.
I said a crime. That they're undocumented. I don't know the statistic of violent crime, but do you understand why they're there in the first place?
He asked her. And the spin, and it's like, okay. I like her style though, cause she trying to position her shit in there, but he's not allowing it. Like,
You just told me
Okay.
that number was 100%.
Okay, they're undocumented 100%. The priority we should all agree on should be violent crime first.
95% of the people in ICE detention facilities have not been convicted of a violent crime.
I don't think that's a true statistic.
That's a fact from DHS itself.
she didn't look it
I
up.
don't.
Pause. You can go to the
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Take your seat.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let me see. I say I'm gonna do 30. I'm gonna do 30, but I ain't no telling how long they're gonna be talking. Everything. She was a good one. Oh yeah.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can.
How's it going? Mark, nice to meet you.
Let's see.
My
What's my
God.
last name?
Oh, it's a great name.
Mark.
Awesome. So I guess on this illegal immigration point, you talked about affordability earlier, so I want to talk about that a little bit. Do you know how much the average American citizen contributes in taxes to subsidize illegal immigrants in this country?
How much?
That's $1,000 per U.S. taxpaying citizen subsidizing illegal immigrants in our country. We also talked about affordability earlier.
You're talking about federal taxes, right?
Yes. Why are house prices so expensive right now?
We haven't built enough over time.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason, but I would say another part of the reason is because we've had 10 million people enter our country in the last 4 years who aren't supposed to be in our country. And guess what? When you
Look at
kick
them.
out, according to
It's
that,
magic.
2 million people over this first year, we've had housing prices fall this quarter. Why do you think housing prices have fell this quarter?
Over the last few years, right? Let's just say over the last 4 years. When do you think the majority of housing inflation happened? When years?
Tell me.
2021, 2022? As a
Probably.
result of that?
Probably.
We know our highest years for immigration into this country were after that.
Well,
So the results is that we saw in the time period in which we had the most illegal immigration coming into this country that was not coincided with the increase in housing prices.
well, you can explain to me why housing prices have fell this quarter. What
Killed them just off bail. Like you trying to conflate that, you know what I'm saying? it ain't working, brother.
policy change has been brought about besides kicking out millions of people?
Because here's the root of the issue, is that when you look at, for example, what immigration as a whole, whether it's illegal immigration, whether it's legal immigration, we know that accounts for maybe 1%, maybe 2% of total housing inflation. The rest of it is the fact that we literally have not built up to the demand that we literally have in the country.
I agree on that.
That's the overarching
I mean,
point.
100% we should be building more housing.
So that's the
Yeah,
reason.
Yeah, that's it. He already killed your argument. This nigga about to get red flag fast.
Why housing has gone up for
Probably.
a long time, no matter what it is. The facts are, in this country, we have not built enough housing.
Sure, but removing 10 million people would also do a whole hell of a lot to decrease the supply of people that are competing for housing.
Well,
Which is
we also know that of the people that build those homes, 50% of those people are those that are immigrants into this country.
Americans.
And so if you go and you round up specific these people, you're also going to be able to build less housing as it currently
Okay,
stands.
so why,
Damn, killing them off more statistical facts, nigga. 50% of the workforce that's building houses is Mexicans, nigga, and I see it. I literally see it. Like nigga, like my whole block, bro. They done renovated this whole neighborhood. My neighborhood is getting gentrified like a motherfucker, right? And I've been seeing Mexicans all like they was just work. The house next door was fucked up, nigga. They took the bricks. I seen them niggas throwing bricks to each other, catching the motherfuckers, and like throwing the motherfucking mortar on that bitch. Like, bro, I seen this. No, one nigga on the scaffold, one nigga on the ground throwing bricks up. This nigga catching them bitches, throwing them motherfuckers up. I'm like, damn. And it was real. So this motherfucker don't know shit. You don't know shit.
housing prices fell this
He
quarter?
got his own, like they all. What I'm peeping is they all got their argument already formed of what they gonna come over and argue about. Once they lose on that argument, and he provide the facts, they befuddled. Like what the fuck?
The only policy change we've had that can relate to housing
That's
prices
not true.
is people getting kicked out of our country.
That's not true.
What federal housing policy?
Like for example, in the city of Austin, they use federal funds, for example, to do something that they called it was a big housing initiative that they had. It led to rents declining for the first time in a long time, housing prices declining for the first time in a long time.
Sure.
That was because they put pro-housing policies.
Yeah,
It's the
I
exact
agree.
same thing.
You need pro-housing
It's the exact same thing
Also,
in
you remove
Minnesota.
people
What's happening
housing.
what's happening in America is that more cities are coming around to understand that the more housing that you build, the lower that leads for regular people. That's what's happening. Because if you look at, for example, the rate of increase, the way that it stabilized and the way that it starts to go down, it follows a trend of more cities adopting pro-housing policies to build housing all across America. And that's a fact.
No, I mean, sure, we need, like I said, I agree with you. We need to increase.
Yeah, that's a fact. Now he looking stupid. He lost his argument. Now he's just trying to get back to deportation without a good point to stand on at all.
Live housing. But let's also go back to my point on how much American citizens are subsidizing.
10 million. Because all he know about is the 10 million deportees. Like, we deport 10 million, this, that. That's all he know. That's his only argument.
Good thing that the average American is subsidizing $1,000 a year out of their taxpayer money to fund illegal immigrants.
What I don't think is a good idea is the fact that we're paying way more for that, for billionaires to go sip on pina coladas on private jets.
I mean, 80% of Americans had their taxes cut by what
That's what's happening in America right now.
Do you agree that, yes, 80% of Americans, essay and fact check, 80% of Americans had their tax cuts, had their taxes cut by the One Big Beautiful Bill for middle class.
Okay, May existing tax cut is permanent for approximately 62% of American taxpayers. 91% of taxpayers did see tax relief due to the expanded standard deduction. So he's wrong. It sounds like he's wrong. Let's see that.
80% of Americans had their taxes cut by the One Big Beautiful.
62%. See, you see how they will just spew some shit with confidence, and if you don't do your research, you will believe them. And if you ain't confident in your own research, you will believe them, or you will allow them to talk over you. You gotta be confident in the shit you know. That's why I like doing research on shit. I don't take anything anybody tell me. I do the research on it myself, you know, because they could have got the wrong information. And if you don't do the research, you know yourself, you take it. They word is truth. Now you looking like a dumbass when you come into contact or into a a conversation, a debate with somebody, and you use that information that you thought was true, but you didn't research. Then this motherfucker provides some facts. Now you looking stupid. Now you looking stupid as shit because you ain't want to take the time and do your due diligence and shit. You know?
Bill for middle class Americans,
How so?
$80,000 to $100,000. I think it goes from $1,000 to $2,000.
What happened to the tax rate?
It went down.
It did?
Yeah, for 80% of Americans.
The tax rate?
Yeah.
Tax rate
Yes.
didn't go down.
Yes, it did.
The tax rate didn't.
Essay and fact check right here. 80%.
The tax rate?
Yes, the effective tax rate for
Oh, the
Americans.
effective tax rate.
Yeah, the tax rate for Americans went down.
Yeah. Let them talk, man. And like I said, what I like about the show, they show the fact check right there.
Do you disagree with that?
Well, because that's not what happened. What happened was maybe an increase for the standard deduction and some other things, but a lot of those policies, and I just want to make sure this is very clear here. The policies
So they clapping like a bunch of trained seals. Yeah, fact.
for regular people and the tax cuts that were in the big, beautiful rip-off bill, per se, for those that make less than $200,000 a year, were supported by a lot of Democrats. Democrats supported these ideas. Nobody supported raising income taxes for folks that made less than $400,000 a year.
Kamala Harris.
Nobody.
Except the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
Exactly. You know why? Because what we don't support is the fact that the richest corporations in America are getting away with paying little to nothing in taxes. What we know.
I wonder how that guy felt when he got home and looked at this video. The first guy. 'Cause I'm looking at all these comments. I know everybody on his ass, on his neck. Everybody lost on.
Is that with the 21% corporate tax rate that we have, it's too low.
Okay, so perfect. I want to establish. You want.
Is the fact that the richest corporations in America are getting away with paying little to nothing in taxes. What we know is that with the 21% corporate tax rate that we have, it's too low.
Okay, so perfect. I want to establish. You want to raise the corporate tax rate. You want to tax unrealized gains. You want to do all these things.
Did I say that?
I mean, I'm asking you because that's what Kamala Harris said.
I think that for those people that make more than $1 billion a year, they should pay a property tax style tax on their wallet. That is what's.
Okay, well, you talk about corporate taxes because that's what Kamala Harris ran on. She ran on raising the corporate taxes and raising the effective gains tax. Can you at least acknowledge that is just economically suicidal for our country and would result in businesses slashing jobs and leaving our countries in droves?
You know what the top corporate tax rate was in the 1990s when Bill Clinton had the largest peacetime expansion of the American economy on record, 35%.
Okay.
Higher than what it was now. Do you know what the effective corporate
in
tax rate? Do you know what the effective corporate tax rate was when Barack Obama had 74 straight months of job growth in America? Do you know when that was?
I know that
what it was?
I know that when we slashed the corporate tax rates in 2017, that we had.
Do you know what it was?
Do
you know what it was?
He said, "Do you know what it was?" When they can't answer the question, they just try to talk over him, and he just shutting them down with that calm composure, like, Do you know what it was? Do you know what it was? Do you know what it was?
What was it?
It was 35%.
Okay.
So in these massive periods of time in which we've had so much job growth in this country, tens of millions of jobs created in this country, we had a 35% corporate tax rate.
And then when we cut it again, there was even more job growth under the first Trump term.
That's literally not what happened. The rate of job growth literally declined right after that. We just continued on a trend, and then it literally smoothed a little bit. That's kind of what happened.
No, we had record job growth under President Trump from 2017 up until the start of COVID.
That's just simply not true. Because what happened?
You're just wrong.
Because
He say,
you say that I am wrong.
he say, that's what they say. That's what they do. You're just wrong. You're a liar. You're wrong, and they're wrong, and they're lying.
All you want.
He even said put the fact check up, and the fact check proved him wrong. Fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers?
Because the reality is that under Donald Trump, the second the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was signed, we were on a period of job growth for a very long time, but the rate of increase started to smooth out a little bit. Because here's the reality, is that we saw that job growth in this country can continue with the top corporate tax rate of 35%. And all I'm saying here today is that when you go and you cut these big taxes for these big corporations, what happens to the deficit? It goes up. It goes up.
Right, because we need to spend less.
You are borrowing against our children's future. That's why you saw an emergence of $trillion-dollar deficits when Donald Trump signed that bill.
Well, I mean, that was mainly because of COVID, having to spend during COVID.
No,
But yeah, I agree. We have a spending problem.
Even if you look at the Committee for Responsible Budgets report, which is a nonpartisan committee of non-COVID related debt approved into this country, about $4.5 trillion is approved under Donald Trump compared to about $2.4 trillion.
Okay, so then let me ask this: then why do we get full bill? Do you agree with?
So the facts are
Medicaid?
that when you go and you pass a piece of legislation like that, it adds more debt that all of us eventually have to pay, and it leverages our children's
Yeah, he gone.
future.
Pause. We're out of time.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, get him up out of there, man. Yeah, so, damn, 3 more minutes. I guess we're gonna look at one more person. This is just gonna be a long ass video.
My natural response.
Cause I know that this part of the video ain't gonna be that long. I just want to be at least to the 30 mark, so we can get majority of the video done. Cause, shit, I'll be up there clipping this bitch all day trying to, you know.
Further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Straight Arrow News for powering the fact checks in this video. Straight Arrow News is on a mission to quickly find the topics that you understand how that's why we're so and designed to make the essay you're not jacked to trust. Let's get into it.
Let's see who. Blue and the white. I mean pink.
Wow.
Nice to meet you, JP.
Good to see you, JP.
Let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I think that
JP look like my man from that movie Despicable Me. The dude with the tracksuit.
I can see your claim. I want to hear you argue it a little more if you want.
Hey, wait, hold on. I gotta see what his name is real quick. Despicable Me. Oh, real quick. What's the me villain? Vector. I think it look like Vector. All right, let's go.
An argument is that look at all the things that Trump promised. He promised that he would make us not pay taxes. He promised us that we would have gas prices national average less than $2 a gallon, and he promised that he would cut our energy bills in half within a year. It's a year. We don't have any of that. Our energy bills are up 11%. Meanwhile, we see the wealthiest 1% of Americans getting about $1 trillion worth of tax cuts with a big rip-off bill. I would say that's very clear that he's more focused on the wealthiest people in our country.
I think that the argument that I would make, and I think it's a structural one, is that we've got, for the last 30 years, globalism has dulled our strategic thinking. And if we want real change, it's not going to happen, not in a year. It's going to be a strong break, and that's just beginning.
But he said it.
What we've seen, and I think that's just part of the issue with a lot of Democrats, is a hyper-fixation on consumers, on, the products. But what we've lost is labor, and I think you, as a Democrat, should understand this.
I didn't know that it was a bad thing to be concerned about prices.
Under Joe Biden, we had a 50 to 60% increase of border crossings. The illegal immigrant population, you can fact check me on this, Jubilee, but I think it almost doubled. It's like 10 million people came into this country. That affects working class Americans. Democrats don't care about this policy. The reality is that Democrats will be, oh, tariffs are a tax on consumers. But what do you say about the workers in America that have lost their jobs? Millions and millions of jobs that have left this country. If you think this is going to change in a year, then you're wrong. We need policy that's brave and courageous, and that's what we're seeing with Trump.
First off, the unemployment rate is higher since Trump has taken office.
The unemployment rate
I don't really know.
Yeah. Another motherfucker that's coming in emotional. Nothing dealt in facts or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what he did say was a fact, like about the that percentage, whatever. But it doesn't line up to the argument. It really doesn't. That's not about the safety of America. He talking about jobs and people losing their houses and shit. That's not the argument. See, when you debate and you stick on topic.
I don't know what you're talking
This
about.
last quarter we had
I think that we should stay
inflation
focused on the fact
increased
that
much more
I
than
did
the
not
last year's
know
Biden
that
administration.
it was controversial.
When Trump got elected the first time, the economy went up. You guys said, oh, it's because he's benefiting from the Obama economy. But now that it's the first year and the economy is starting to lift up, you guys
Starting
don't
to
say the
lift
same
up?
thing. You guys don't say the same
Isn't
thing.
inflation going up? What are you talking about?
You remember Joe Biden?
Inflation going up, all that. So, yeah, he lost. He about to get kicked out quick, bro.
His presidency, what do you think happens when the government expands and continues to spend his money, lets millions of illegal immigrants in and does nothing?
Give a
If you
monologue.
want to lower inflation and at the same time bring back jobs, you need to do two things.
I don't think
You
we're
need
in secret.
domestic deregulation. while
Get
at
him
the
up
same
out of
time
there.
fighting the
He's just
externalization
talking.
of
Get him
labor.
up out of there.
We've
Throw the
let
flag
our
up.
country
Hey, throw my
kill
shit up. Get
itself,
him up out of
and
there.
we don't want to do that no longer.
Get him up
If
out of
it's
there.
going to take some discomfort,
And
I welcome it.
out of
I
time.
think many Americans welcome it. What we're not going to do, and what the Trump administration is not going to do, that Democrats did,
Get him up out of
is
there.
ignore the
That
American
nigga-
people. Yes, popular sentiment
That nigga
right
gone.
now.
He gone.
They're not comfortable with the economy.
Okay.
But they have not been comfortable with the economy in the last 30 years.
Because you've been talking for a solid
3 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
Do you think the economy has worked under Biden or under Obama?
Here's what we were talking about. I'm going to remind you about the prompt.
Oh no.
The idea in front of us is that it was not me that put these expectations on Donald Trump. Trump said it himself. He said that he would cut our energy bills in half by a year. He said that he could just go walk into the
Drill, baby,
office
drill,
and
it's
get it
beginning.
done. And what's happened with
We are
people in
exporting.
this
We're
country?
exporting.
He just see when you go to a debate, it's to come to a common ground so y'all can come with a sense of reason. Now, he's not listening to reason. He's listening just that respond or have a rebuttal. He don't give a fuck what facts this guy delivers. He's just gonna argue with him. So they about to get him up out of there. So yeah, let's throw that red flag up for his ass. He out of there, man. Get him up out of there.
Technology now than ever before.
He gone.
Up,
It's
left,
beginning.
and
It's
right.
beginning.
11%
Energy
up
policy
is a lot
is
different
cleaner.
than 50% down like what he originally promised.
Why don't you like
Trump's not delivering.
Why don't you like the energy policy?
Why is it that you cannot?
The Democrats are the ones that constrain energy. The Democrats are the ones that constrain.
He can't stay focused on the topic because he's a Maga supporter. This is what they do.
Pro baby drill.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Yeah,
Please return to your seat.
Yeah, get him up out of there, man. Yeah, get him up out of there. He
I
embarrassed
like
him.
you guys' energy. I will say that.
Black dude, black girl, okay.
Build a website you
Is she
love
black? She might be
with ways.
Indian and black.
For your words,
Let's see what these black people got, son.
Oh.
I had to see at least one
She's
before we
quick.
go off. Yeah.
Kind of want
Because
to
it still ain't hit the 30. Oh, yeah, it did.
off some of the things I feel like my last friend was trying to get to. So, and you said Trump set the expectation for himself, and so what I feel like a lot of people do on the left is they hear Trump and they hear it through the lens of I already hate him, I already want him to fail. So already you're coming at it from a very counterproductive perspective. The way, because I watched every Trump.
It's not a counterproductive perspective, you know what I'm saying, if he's not delivering on what he said. It's not a counterproductive perspective. It's a, I expect it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I expected you to do something. And my expectancy was not accomplished.
rally because I had to.
Really?
Absolutely, because I used to hate him. But what I found out was the reasons why I hated him was because of how things were cut up and presented to me for so many years. So I had to take it upon myself to go back. I had a lot of time in COVID to go back, watch every rally. A lot of it was hilarious. But even because I used to be on the left, absolutely. How I see we're going to do it within a year is the policies are going to activate. We're going to have clear policies and we're going to make moves within the first year. Now, if you're being honest with yourself and you're being genuine, good things take time. Change takes time. We're not going to fix everything that fell apart in 1 year. We're not going to see the results by December. To me, that it would just be disingenuous to say that you believe that anybody could do that.
And that's the one thing that, like, her argument, that's the one perspective that they feed motherfuckers into. That they gotta fix it. I don't care if it was Bush. I don't care if it was Bill Clinton. They was fixing up behind somebody else. Always. Obama fixing up behind Bush. Motherfucking now Trump supposedly was cleaning up behind Obama. Then Biden got in this and Biden was cleaning up. Like, these perspectives, just like the arguments that they come up with for the politicians, is better healthcare, better, more jobs, They say this every motherfucking what's that shit called? Political run. That shit. I'm so far removed from all that, the political shit. I don't even know what this called. The presidential run. Whenever they had a presidential run, that's their motherfucking argument. Better healthcare. They got it. So it's the same shit. So she thinks she hated Trump. No, you was just a fucking follower. You got around some other motherfuckers that was followers that was like, oh yeah, Trump is cool. Then you followed them like a fucking follower. Now you a Trump supporter. And them motherfuckers don't even like your dumb ass.
Especially since of how we've suffered post-COVID. The globe suffered post-COVID. We have a lot to fix. So what I saw was him saying, hey, we're going to do these things, policy, we're going to have the strategy, the things set in place within the first year. Hence all the manufacturing deals. We have absolutely, NVIDIA, we have so much money coming into this country to build plants. All that's going to take time. And all of that's going to help the working class. Because let me tell you something. I'm also still the working class. I'm college educated. I know they said MAGA wasn't college educated or black, but I am. And let me tell you, but I'm also still working class. I also still drive Uber, drive Lyft. I clean a yoga studio. And let me tell you, like, usually those...
Baby girl, you this just like women telling stories, man. Get to the fucking point. I don't care about all that other shit. Why you bringing up all your jobs, Uber? I'm up there cleaning studios and shit. We don't give a fuck about that. The whole shit, Trump prioritizes wealthy while he leaves you behind. Yeah, that's the topic now.
Jobs go to, and no offense, but a lot of illegal immigrants to be.
Jobs don't go to a lot of illegal immigrants because when they illegal, like McDonald's, they're not getting in there. Burger King, they're not getting in there, bro. Like, let's be real. A lot of motherfuckers can't get the jobs because they ain't got the paperwork to get the motherfucking jobs. Because you gotta have simple paperwork, documentation, simple shit.
First off, I acknowledge that you work hard, right? That is a lot of work, and I want to salute you for that.
Yeah,
but
commend
the reality is that a lot of people in this country listen to
I work hard
Trump
too.
and
I work hard too.
they heard him say specific things, and that's what informed him that's what informed them to go and make the decision to vote for him. The reality is that when you make promises, you're going to be graded on whether or not you keep them. And the reality is that he promised that he would cut our energy bills in half. That has not happened. It hasn't even remotely.
Have you seen on Twitter all the people thanking Trump about the gas prices? They're not low here.
Hold up.
Yeah.
The energy bills are...
If you got an argument, get your points and shit out off the rip. Don't interrupt the next speaker. That's just disrespectful. Plain and simple.
We're up 11%. That is a fact. The national average for gasoline in this country is literally almost the exact same as what it was a year ago.
I know, but
it's about 5 cents less.
But even if you compare it by state, I feel like a lot of Democratic-ran states are suffering.
It's an average.
Okay, but that includes all the Democratic states
How's an average
with huge populations.
How's an average calculated?
You calculate everybody together and then you divide it.
So were Democratic states included in the average last year?
Absolutely.
So they are included this year.
Okay.
So why are you mentioning this is some new phenomenon?
Okay.
Those states were in there last year as they are this year.
So
And this year, gas prices are, if you compare it between this week and this
lower.
week last year,
No, but
it's
they're
only
lower than
5
last
cents
year.
lower.
But they're
and
lower
it was
than
Trump
last
that
year.
promised that he would have
But they
these
were
gas
lower.
prices.
But the
less
prices
than
are
2
lower
months
than
ago.
last year, dude. There are so many people thanking Trump right now on TikTok. Just look for it. I know you don't want to look for it.
On TikTok, we're not talking about TikTok. Fuck social media. We talking about what's really fucking going on. Social media ain't real. You bringing up social media like that's a real fucking place. Like, hey, let's go to social media. Let's go to the TikTok place. It's not a fucking TikTok place. That's the fucking internet.
You don't want to see the truth, but just look for it. So many people taking pictures of the gas prices in Texas and Louisiana going, dang, I ain't seen gas. It's $1.19.
Yeah. She ain't a good debater at all. They about to flag her.
I done seen that so many times on TikTok, bro. I
That's
promise to goodness.
bruh, and that's your argument. That's your argument. Something on TikTok. People praising Trump because of the gas price. Something on TikTok. Then we actually just seen him do a play that's been done before. You know what I'm saying? Like back with the Iraq and Baghdad shit when they kidnapped Saddam Hussein and took all the gas from over there. Back then they was low key with it. They said they had weapons of mass destruction. They had an excuse to go over there. Trump don't give a fuck. He like, nigga, we snatched you up. And we got all that gas. He just don't give a fuck. It ain't hit no more. He fucked up the illusion. Back then, we was just like, you know, getting lied to. We was cool. This nigga lied to you and still tell the truth. By mistake. Without even trying.
Look for, baby.
You can look at the average.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You can look at the average.
Numbers, but I'm telling you, real people.
Because facts are over feelings. That's how things work.
Facts are over feelings. That's 100% legit. You know what I'm saying? Facts.
Don't care about feelings.
Reality,
That's how it goes.
Feeling, it's reality.
And the reality is that the national average for gas is literally only 5 cents lower than what it was a year ago. And Trump said,
so it's lower. So it got it lower.
Trump said $2. See, she's gonna stick to the 5 cent. And you see how she jumped on that and just zoned in on that because she's trying to wiggle something to stick her point to, but it's stupid. It's a lot.
It's gonna have it less than $2 a gallon.
It's gonna keep dropping.
Is that lower than $2 a gallon?
But it's lower. There's progress.
So you're gonna celebrate 5 cents?
Yeah, I'm gonna celebrate anything that's lower. Yes, but it's gonna keep going. I'm not in my ego, bro.
Says who?
You're coming at this in your ego.
He coming with facts, and she said he coming with his ego. And like I say, that calm composure and just being poised, that fucks people up when they can't upset you, and they're getting upset, and they feel it in them. It's just boiling inside of them. They like, this is your ego, but trying to throw it on him and shame him into being like, oh, it is my ego, and look at himself and not be confident in what he's saying. He's staying confident because he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I said it when she sat down. She don't know what the fuck she talking about. She mentioned TikTok and shit like that, man. Let me stop. Dumbass.
My ego because I'm looking at the facts?
No, I'm coming at this as an American who wants to see everybody prosper and succeed.
So here's what's not prospering in this country. The fact that people are seeing real wage growth in this country, literally half of what it was last year. The people in this country that are literally watching.
Are you talking about unemployment?
What?
Are you talking about
No.
Do you know what real wage growth is?
Absolutely.
No, the fuck she don't know what that shit mean. He done said some shit, went right over her head. She like, you talking about unemployment? Then he say, do you know what unemployment is? Absolutely, bitch. No, you. Oh man, let me stop. I'm getting disrespectful. Girl, you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
But I'm saying, okay, wage growth as in how much we're making as Americans. Like if the money we take home is growing. That's what you mean. Yeah.
Growth.
Right.
How they make that determination.
Right.
And if you look at that number,
Right.
with everything together,
Yes.
it's half of what it was last year.
Okay. But I'm saying there are so many different factors that contribute to that.
Foreclosures are up.
He telling her this slow, cause he's breathing, and she need to take a second to really breathe and pause, and process, then respond. That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
People cannot afford to live.
But literally, this was last year. This has been happening since the
You had a
pandemic.
president
This has
that
been
ran
happening
for office
since the
saying
pandemic.
that all he had to do was to get in office and he would
And now
fix
you're
every
coming back.
problem
Okay,
in
so
America. And the reality is
now you're
that
coming
hasn't
back
happened.
to now you're coming back to we want the magic wand.
And then we want the magic wand. Is he act like he had the magic wand and he made promises that was fucking impossible. And your blank-minded ass believed it and still do.
You guys ran on having a magic wand.
You guys, I didn't run nothing. Like, what are you talking
You
about?
with MAGA. You with
I thought that's what we were talking about.
There's no magic wand.
Yeah, get her up out of there.
Take your seat. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm done. Enough of this for me today. Yeah. I just want to see who they had next before I even cut this shit off. They're gonna have the black. Oh, this nigga looks. Bro, what cartoon was that, bro?
I'm on lunch.
Just built an inventory tracker.
Protein guy.
Dang, dog. He looked like an anime character, bro. He was a doctor, though. Ah, shit. They had like magical powers. I cannot think of what show that was, man. I was watching and there was a nigga on there. He was cold. He was a fighter. I know that wasn't no My Hero. That was I'm gonna think of that shit, bro. Asta. I think it was the show Asta was in. Or what was that? Asta. What is that? What's the name of that? Asta and damn. I can't even think of the name of the show, but he looked like a character off the show. But because it looked like he got like a lab coat, like like the character. But with that being said, this is a cool ass show, man. Not show. Yeah, this is a cool ass series they got on here on YouTube. I'm gonna watch the other half. Well, parts of the other half next time. So with that being said, like and subscribe so we hit that 100K today. Stay peaceful, productive, and positive. It's that nigga Mom, and much love.
Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them when torment snoring. Like you in your own home without home phone. I'm on like E.T., got a phone home past the moon. It's not a movie, I'm about to fly past it soon. Spiritually, I roam alone. Physically, I'm eating off a plastic spoon. Sometimes I get caught in the spirit of the moment when